Hello, lovelies. Good to see everyone, even though nobody's here yet. Good to see you when you come. Today I want to talk about Blippi. This is Blippi right here. Isn't she pretty? In certain lights she looks blue, in certain lights she looks green. She has all this depth to her, just like the water. So she's very mercurial. Yay! Hello, visitors, whoever you are. And I wanted to talk about a technique that I have been using for a while now because I'm learning some great stuff about mindset coaching and what mindset coaching is, and also the power of being able to take this amazing gift, this powerful and amazing computer, and reprogram it for everything that you want it to do. You make it work for you instead of working against you. And when you're feeling negative, and when, gosh, a lot of people have joined. Hi, everybody. When you're feeling like negative and frustrated, we have a tendency, thank you for the loves, I love the loves, to want to get stuck there. So we say something like, all right, I'm going to eat on this health program. I'm going to be all healthy. It's going to feel so good. And then you slip up. And then the negative thoughts come, right? It's like, oh, I can never do this. I'll never be able to handle this. I'm miserable. I'm not eating enough. I'm fat. I'm always going to be fat, or whatever it is, right? It can be if you're also having issues around motivation to get stuff done. It can also be around your relationship. It doesn't matter what it is. It's that idea that a negative thought creeps in, and what ends up happening? You want to attach to it and think that it's real. You want to make it real. And how do you do that? You add more thoughts to it. And that legitimize, you know what I mean. It makes it legitimate in your brain, and it makes it real, and then it starts affecting your self-esteem. So a mindset coach is going to teach you that that is just a choice that you're making, just like a billion other choices that you could make in the exact same moment with the exact same circumstances. And when you know that, and when you start using these tools, you can reprogram this to be a supercomputer, to do good in the world, to be your superpowers, right? So Blippi, that's this little girl right here. She's so pretty. She will remind you of a concept called the blip in the matrix. I don't have a better name for it, but it's the idea that if all of it is all about being programmed and having software running based on what we were taught as children and what we have gleaned from society and our social cues, then we're basically just running on programs anyway. And what's real and what's not real, right? And not to get too existential about it, but the truth is none of it's real. Every single concept you have about yourself is something that you chose to believe when given the opportunity to believe it, right? And sometimes this happened when you were little, and so you didn't really have a lot of awareness about it. But what's great about that is that you can reboot the system. You can completely go back to the original hardware at any time, right? So Blippi is all about doing that. And so what you do is a negative thought comes in, and let's say it's something, let's go with the diet, right? Because I've been working on my diet, and just so you know, I'm almost at 20 pounds, not quite there yet, but very excitedly getting close to 20 pounds. And then I've got my period, and the cramps are coming, and I can't stand not having chocolate. So I go and I get a Hershey bar. Well, it's so easy to say you failed. It's so easy to say, now look what you've done. You've gone off the rails. You're a bad person. You can never do these things. This is that brain gibberish that happens, right? I call it the monkey mind. And it is brutal and vicious and awful. And what you can do is, instead of looking at that like it's informing the decision of who you are, just say it's a blip. It's just a little blip. Blip. And then you rewrite yourself, right? So what you want to do is make that little noise, blip, and refocus and set your trajectory back on your goal, right? So think about a row of ants and how they're going, towards their goal, and then you scatter their little pathway and all the scents are wrong and they get a little confused and they run around. And guess what? Then they start forming back into their little line again, because they have an internal GPS, and that's what we all have. And that GPS is setting the trajectory of where you want to go. So the tool looks like this. You say something negative to yourself, or you do something that lets yourself down. You make the little noise either inside your head or outside your head, which outside your head is going to be more powerful and effective, because you're anchoring it with real, tangible sound. But it goes blip, and then you recalculate to the next part of your journey, right? Remember the GPS is recalculating. I don't know if they do that anymore. I haven't heard that in a long time, but basically you just refocus. And so that's why this little girl's name is Blippi. And if you have the desire to want to remember that tool, and if you're excited about how easy it is to reprogram your mind, then use the tool and by all means bring home Blippi. And for anybody who's joined us, I see there's some new people here. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a sea turtle rescuer and a healer and a relationship coach and a glass blower. So all of those things are all in one, and that is the work that I do in the world. It's my calling. And so what I do is, I'm also a shaman, which is also, I work with energy, and I have energy that goes through my hands. And so when I'm making a piece of art, oops, I knocked the phone. When I'm making a piece of art, I'm always constantly sending that healing and that love and that beauty into every piece that I make. And so she's got a hand-blown shell. And if you see it really up close, you can see all of the different beautiful metals that I use in the glass, like silvers and golds. And then these little island type things, that's all different. It's actually different components of metal oxides, right? But it looks like islands. And then I send these little guys out into the world, except for this one. For some reason, this one wanted to stay with me forever. And they become ambassadors to the Sea Turtle mission and also to the specific healing tool that they've been designed to be the keeper of. You can always use any of my tools without using the turtle. All of the tools are something that you can take home and have live in your heart. But if you're the kind of person that wants like a tangible reminder, and you like to say have a tattoo of something to remind you, or a physical little statue or something, that's what I've created these little honus for. And because I'm a sea turtle rescuer, I actually adopt a live baby hatchling for every sea turtle that I sell. So that's kind of my mission in life. So that's a little bit about me, and that's a little bit about Blippi, and that's a little bit about how you can use that tool, blip, to refocus and reprogram and just go back to your goal. Just because you made one mistake, don't compound it by adding a whole bunch more after that, because then that will basically legitimize, got it right? Legitimize that belief or that story that you have about yourself. And don't forget, you are made up of stories and none of them are true. Now, that's a hard one to understand, and it's okay if you want to fight me on that. But everything that we believe, every religion that we have, everything that we believe, even in science, all of it is stories that make sense. And you get to decide which ones of those serve you to your highest purpose and which ones don't serve you. And I'm not saying give up any beliefs. Don't do that. Your beliefs are what makes you grounded and connected and focused on who you are. But just look at the ones that don't serve you and aren't supporting you. Get rid of them. You don't need them. Anyways, that's me, Amy Waking Wolf. If you are interested in Blippi, she'll be on the website, www.wakingwolf.com. And you can go pick her up, or another friend like her. And also, I'm a relationship coach. So if you have any desire for mindset coaching, relationship coaching, any kind of coaching that I can support you in, health coaching, I'd be happy to share with you my tools and techniques. Anyways, have a fantastic day. Mahalo, which means deepest respect and gratitude, and aloha, which means I have so much joy breathing the same breath of life that you breathe. And namaste. It means I see myself in you. I see you. Aloha.